It's a pleasure to welcome you again to this course on inferential discrete mathematics. Last class we were discussing this topic on recurrence relations. We learned how it is connected with this idea called sequences. We found ways to solve a recurrence relation so as to find any given term of a sequence without finding its predecessors. We will move ahead today and discuss another type of recurrence relations, and we learn how to solve them. Before we go into the next type, the non-homogeneous type, let's discuss one problem under the homogeneous section just to refresh your memory on this concept. On your screens is a recurrence relation. Let's try and write its nature and order first, and then we'll try and solve it. This recurrence relation is clearly linear, is homogeneous, and is of order 3. Let's recall why these are very obvious from the question. It is linear because every term appears with the power of 1. You are not squaring any previous term of the sequence, you are taking them as they are. It is homogeneous because the recurrence relation depends only on previous terms and not any function of n. Therefore, it is also homogeneous. To see for yourself that it is in fact homogeneous, write all terms of the sequence on one side of the expression, and it will be very obvious for you to see that it is actually a homogeneous relation. Now, the given recurrence relation can be rewritten in this form, and you will see that this is a 0 function. F of n is a 0 function, therefore you have a homogeneous recurrence relation. As a matter of fact, all problems that we solved yesterday were of the homogeneous type. I am discussing this problem just to give you a refreshing of what we learnt yesterday. Further, we can also deduce that the order of this recurrence relation is 3. The order of this recurrence relation is 3. And how is it very obvious? Point number 1, the last term, when you rearrange the recurrence terms of the recurrence relation, the last index ends with n minus 3. That is the biggest clue that the given recurrence relation is of order 3. Further, you see that a n depends on 3 consecutive terms which are earlier present in the sequence. Therefore, it is still a recurrence relation of order 3. And point number 3, you have been given 3 constants as initial conditions. Always remember, no information is extra in 99% of the problems. All information have their own significance. I have given you 3 pieces of information because all of these are critical to solve the recurrence relation given. And you see that I have given you A0, A1 and A2, and therefore this recurrence relation is linear, is homogeneous, and it is also of order 3. Having identified these 3 key parts of the recurrence relation, we can set out to solve this. And yesterday we learnt a simple algorithm based based on quadratic equations which can be used to solve a recurrence relation. How do we do that? You first convert the recurrence relation into an algebraic equation, and that is easy if you have already identified its order. Now, here we have identified the order to be 3. Therefore, we have r power 3 as the first term, minus 6 times r to the power of 3 minus 1 as the second, plus 11 times r to the power of 3 minus 2 at the third point, and minus 6 times r to the power of 3 minus 3. So, in fact, you will have a cubic equation of this form, r cube minus 6r square plus 11r minus 6 equaling 0. That is the recurrence relation we are set out to solve. Now the next step obviously is to determine the roots. Like I told you yesterday, there is no direct formula to solve a cubic equation. You have a very simple concept to solve a quadratic equation, but a cubic equation we don't have a ready made formula. So it is the first step, the first step to solve a cubic equation is to somehow guess at least one of the 3 roots available. And here it's quite easy, because we can see that r is equal to 1 is a root. R is equal to 1 is a root because we have 1 cube minus 6 times 1 plus 11 times 1 minus 6 equaling 1 minus 6 plus 11 minus 6, which is 12 minus 12, which is 0. So r is equal to 1 satisfies the given cubic equation, and therefore it is one of the 3 roots that we are looking for. So once we have found out one of the 3 roots, finding the other 2 is not very difficult. We have seen that yesterday. We have used this technique called synthetic division, wherein if you know one root, the remaining expression which factors the given polynomial can be identified. So 1 is a root, so let's write the coefficients that we started with: 1 minus 6 plus 11 minus 6, and since we have 1 as a root, we can move and simplify this. Therefore the given polynomial can be factorized as a product of one linear polynomial and one quadratic polynomial. The linear polynomial gave us 1 as the root. The quadratic polynomial is r square minus 5r plus 6, and you obviously know that the roots of this quadratic are 2 and 3. Therefore the 3 roots of this cubic equation are 1, 2 and 3. This gives us the license to write the general solution of the given recurrence relation. Since there are 3 roots and they are 1, 2 and 3, the general solution of the recurrence relation can be written as b1 times 1 power n, b2 times 2 power n, and b3 times 3 power n. That's what we learned yesterday. And since all these roots are distinct, this kind of a general solution can be easily arrived at. So the problem is almost solved, except we have to determine the values of these 3 constants b1, b2 and b3, and for that exact reason there have been 3 information which are part of the problem. We know what a0, a1 and a2 are. a0 is 2, a1 is 5 and a2 is 15. We can use that. a0 means we use 0 for the value of n. So we will have b1 times 1 to the power of 0, b2 times 2 to the power of 0 plus b3 times 3 to the power of 0. This sum is going to give us an answer of 2. Hence the first equation that we are able to solve, or we are able to frame, is b1 plus b2 plus b3 equaling 2. Similarly we have a1 to be 5, a1 to be 5. So b1 times 1 power 1, that's 1, b2 times 2 power 1, that's 2, plus b3 times 3 power 1, that's 3, all of them adding up to give you 5. Therefore the second equation that we will have is b1 plus 2b2 plus 3b3 equaling 5. The last part says a2 is 15. So a2 is all these numbers raised to the second power. So b1 times 1 squared plus b2 times 2 squared plus b3 times 3 square, all of them add up to give us 15. So our task is to solve these 3 equations. I will write them down again on the next screen and we will solve them. So what do we have? b1 plus b2 plus b3 is 2, b1 plus 2b2 plus 3b3 is 5, b1 plus 4b2 plus 9b3 is 5 is 15. The moment you solve for these three constants, we have already solved the recurrence relation also. You can just subtract the first and second. So 2 minus 1, if I call this as 1, 2 and 3, 2 minus 1 will give us b2 plus 2b3 equaling 3. Similarly, 3 minus 1 will give us 3b2 plus 8b3 giving us 13. So we have to further eliminate one of the two variables here. So we can multiply the second one, this, let's call this as 4 and this is 5. If we multiply the second one by 2 or 3, we have 3b2 plus 6b3 giving us 18 and 3b2 plus 8b3 giving us 13. Oh, yeah, this is not 18, this is 9. I'll just change that. Subtracting, we have minus 2b3 giving us minus 4, or b3 is 2. Now once we know b3, b2 can be obtained. b2 plus 4 is 3, or b2 is minus 1. b1 minus 1 plus 2 is 2, which means b1 is also plus 1. So the three constants we are looking for are 1, minus 1, 2. Therefore, the recurrence relation S of n, or the answer for the nth term of the sequence, is 1 times 1 power n plus 2 power n times minus 1 plus 2 power n times 2 times 3 power n. This is the solution we are looking for, and we can also verify if this is right. The answer we got is 1 times 1 power n minus 1 times 2 power n plus 2 times 3 power n. So what can A3 be? 1 times 1 cube minus 1 times 2 cube plus 2 times 3 cube. That's 1. Minus 8 plus 54, which is 55 minus 8, it goes to 47. What was the, so we also saw from the question that A3 was defined to be 6 an minus 1, 6 a3 minus 1 minus 11 a3 minus 2 plus 6 a3 minus 3, or in other words A3 was 6 a2 minus 11 a1 plus 6 a0. From the question we know that A2 was 15, A1 was 5 and A0 was 2. 6 times 15 minus 11 times 5 plus 6 times 2, which comes down to 90 minus 55 plus 12, which is 112 minus 55, and that's exactly 47. 102, I'm sorry. 102 minus 55 is exactly 47. So the answer we obtained from our solution and the answer we obtained from the recurrence relation do match, which means we have completed the solution of the recurrence relation correctly, and this is the required solution of your recurrence relation. Using this answer, the one inside the box, you can find any term of the given sequence without having to find the predecessors. You don't have to find the 9th term to get the 10th term. We can directly substitute the value of n as 10. So that's what we had in yesterday's class. Today I would like to start with a problem like this. This is a similar problem, but there is a small difference here. It is still a linear recurrence relation. It is a recurrence relation of order 1 because there is only one term on which the answer is depending. It is still a recurrence relation, but the difference here is that it is not homogeneous, it is non-homogeneous. The term of the sequence depends on a previous term and also depends on a constant. Now that is where you have the second type of recurrence relations where the function on the RHS is not 0 anymore. It may be a constant, it may be a polynomial, and today we will discuss the strategy to solve such recurrence relations. For that, there is a 3-step procedure which can be applied to solve such recurrence relations. Step 1, we treat this as a homogeneous, as though it is a homogeneous recurrence relation, and find a general solution. That's exactly like what we have been doing so far. So even though it is non-homogeneous, we treat it as a homogeneous recurrence relation and get a general solution. That's one part of the required answer. That's not the complete answer, that's one part, and we'll call that part as SH of k. Next, the function of the RHS has to be taken care of. The function may be a constant, that function may be a polynomial, but you have to take care of that. To take care of that, we do step 2 of this algorithm. And what does it say? Start to obtain what is called a particular solution of the recurrence relation by taking an educated guess at the answer. Now this educated guess is not just any blind guessing. You follow a pattern. What pattern is that? If the function is a constant, then your particular solution is also a constant. If the function is a polynomial, the particular solution is also a polynomial. That is what we will do. We will retain the nature of the function as the nature of the particular solution also. So from now on, whenever the given recurrence relation is non-homogeneous, your final answer is going to be of 2 parts. One part is the general solution, which is the same procedure that you followed so far, and the other part is the particular solution for which you will take an educated guess at the answer. That's not actually a guess. We are retaining the nature of the function for the particular solution, and the complete answer is obtained by the sum of the two. The answer from step 1 and the answer from step 2 are added together to give a general solution. And if you are also provided with initial conditions, we will also be able to solve for the constants involved in step 1. To make you understand this better, or to make it easier for you to follow, let us try and solve this recurrence relation. It is indeed a recurrence relation, it is linear, but it is not homogeneous. There is a function of the RHS which is not 0, so that has to be taken care of. Okay. So but we will go as per the algorithm, which says that we treat it as a homogeneous function to complete step 1. So what was the procedure so far? You write a characteristic equation, you find the roots, you write a general solution. So we will do the same here. So we will treat this as though we are still not deviating from the question, we have the rights to do that. We will treat it as though it is a homogeneous recurrence relation and get its general solution. So if S of n plus 5 S of n minus 1 is 0, then the general solution, and how do we get the general solution? Comma, we will call the general solution as SH of n, because we are treating it as a homogeneous RR. So let us call this as SH of n. Then the general solution of n is obtained as follows. So we will write the corresponding characteristic equation, which will just be R plus 5 is equal to 0. You know why it is R? Because the order is 1, Therefore, you start with the highest power of r as 1. The first term is r to the power of 1, the second term is r to the power of 0, which is just 5. So, we have r plus 5 is equal to 0. So, the value of r can be easily obtained as minus 5. So, if r if the value of r is obtained as minus 5, then the general solution is just b1 times minus 5 to the power of n. We saw that whatever root we obtain, we raise it to the power of n and have it as the general solution. So, the general solution is of the form sh of n, which is b1 times minus 5 to the power of n. That is not the entire solution, because the given recurrence relation is not homogeneous. Therefore, we will also find the particular solution, and recall the particular solution is obtained by retaining the nature of f of n. The given function is a constant because we have only 9 on the RHS. S of n plus 5 times s of n minus 1 is just 9, it is a constant, which means our particular solution is also going to be a constant. So, if we call our particular solution as n, I am going to retain the same nature, as in I will call this solution as d naught. The moment we solve d naught, everything falls into place and we have solved the problem. So, the particular solution is also a constant and we refer to that as d naught. Now, how do we set upon finding this? We extrapolate. If Sp of n is d naught, what can Sp of n minus 1 be? Since it is a constant function, this will also happen to be d naught. That is what you mean by a constant function, right? Whatever be the input value, the output value does not change. So, if Sp of n is d naught, Sp of n minus 1 is also d naught, and that is what we have. So, we will use these answers in the question. So, what will happen is Sp of n plus 5 Sp of n minus 1 give us 9 according to the question, which means d naught plus 5 d naught is going to give us 9, or 6 d naught is going to give us 9, which means d naught is 9 upon 6, which is 3 by 2. Therefore, the solution of the recurrence relation, which is one part homogeneous and one part particular, is obtained by adding the two. So, b1 times minus 5 to the power of n plus 3 by 2, that is all we have as the answer. That is the required answer. Of course, we still have to find out what b1 is, because b1 was arbitrarily fixed as a constant, we do not know what that is, and also we have been given an initial condition, so that can be put to use to solve the problem. We will do that on the next screen. The question says S of 0 is 6. Question says S of 0 is 6. So, b1 times minus 5 to the power of 0 plus 3 by 2 is supposed to give us 6, because d naught was determined as 3 by 2 and the addition of the 2 is the actual solution of the RR. So, when you use the value 0 for n, that is what you are looking at, which means minus 5 to the power of 0 is going to be 1. So, b1 plus 3 by 2 is 6, or b1 is 6 minus 3 by 2, 6 minus 3 by 2, 6 minus 1.5, which is 4.5, therefore, b1 is 9 by 2, and hence the answer you are looking for in terms of S of n is 9 by 2 to the power of n, 9 by 2 times 5 to the power of n plus 3 by 2, 9 by 2 times minus 5 to the power of n plus 3 by 2. Let us try and verify if this answer is right. Let us find S of 1. S of 1 has got to be 9 by 2 times minus 5 plus 3 by 2, or that is minus 45 upon 2 plus 3 upon 2, which is minus 42 upon 2, which is minus 21. Now, we can also look at the question. The question says S of 1 plus 5 times S of 0 is 9. So, S of 1 has to be 9 minus 5 times S of 0, and the question said S of 0 is 6. So, 9 minus 5 times 6, 9 minus 30, which is also minus 21. The two answers match, which means we have solved the problem correctly. We have obtained the same answer by using the solution we obtained and also by using the question that was given. Both answers do match, which means we have actually solved the recurrence relation perfectly. We will just solve one more problem to make you familiar with this approach of solving a non-homogeneous RR. Look at this. Let us try and write its nature and order. This RR is clearly linear. It is linear. This RR is also non-homogeneous because there is a constant involved in minus 30, and this RR is of order 2 because the last index is at 2. There are two constants given and S of k depends on two consecutive terms. Therefore, you see that it is of order 2. Now, we will try and solve this RR. Now, since this is non-homogeneous, once again we will have to solve the problem in two parts. Part 1, we will have a look at the homogeneous part of the answer, and part 2 we will have a look at the particular part of the answer. But for both, you will have to write down the corresponding characteristic equation, which is easily available because since this is a order 2 recurrence relation, you will start with the highest power of r as 2. So, r square minus r to the power of 2 minus 1 minus 6 is 0. Remember, whatever be the function on the right, to solve the characteristic equation you will treat it as a homogeneous RR. Even though we have 30, we have actually taken only 0 here. So, r square minus r minus 6 is 0, that is what we have. We can try and factorize this. The factors will be r minus 3 and r plus 2 giving us 0. You can also solve this with a quadratic formula, I will leave that to you. So, r is either 3 or minus 2. R is either 3 or minus 2. And since the roots are distinct, the corresponding homogeneous part of the answer is b1 to the power of 3 power n plus b2 to the power of minus 2 power n. That is what we have. That is the homogeneous part. Now, to find the particular part of the solution, we will have a look at what the function here is. The function given here is a constant function, and as per the algorithm, we will assume that the particular part of the answer is also a constant. So, let us write them down. S of k everywhere, k and k. Okay. So, Sp of, let us assume that Sp of k is a constant. Let us call the constant as d naught. So, what happens to Sp of k minus 1? This also has to be d naught. What happens to Sp of k minus 2? It also happens to be d naught. Why do we repeat d naught everywhere? The function is constant and therefore the answer does not depend on the question. Whatever input you give, I am going to return only d naught, and therefore you get d naught everywhere. Now, let us use them in the given question. So, you will have d naught minus d naught minus 6 d naught equaling minus 30. We can lose these two terms. Minus 6 d naught is minus 30, or d naught is just 5. So, therefore, you have the general solution. S of k is sh of k plus sp of k. Sh of k is what we obtained a few minutes ago, b1 times 3 power k plus b2 times minus 2 power k plus the only constant we have has 5. Now, we have almost solved the problem except for the values of b1 and b2, which can be obtained using the initial conditions given. The question says S of 0 is 7 and S of 1 is 10. They can be used to solve for these constants. Let us use them up. We have S of k to be b1 times 3 power k plus b2 times minus 2 power k plus 5, and the question says S of 0 is 7 and S of 1 is 10. Now, since S of 0 is 7, you have b1 times 3 power 0, that is b1, B2 times minus 2 power 0, that's B2 plus 5 as the constant, giving us 7. Simplifying, you will have your first equation as B1 plus B2 equaling 2. Similarly, S of 1 is 10, therefore B1 times 3 or 3B1 plus B2 times negative 2 or minus 2B2 plus 5 also giving us 10. Therefore, we will have 3B1 minus 2B2 is equal to 5. Now, you have two equations, you have two unknowns, you can always solve and find these answers. We will multiply the first equation by 2 to get 2B1 plus 2B2 equaling 4, and we have 3B1 minus 2B2 equaling 5. Let's add these two. 5B1 gives us 9, or B1 gives us 9 by 5. Now if B1 is 9 by 5, B2 is 2 minus 9 by 5, which is 10 by 5 minus 9 by 5, B2 is 1 by 5. So the recurrence relation we are looking for, S of k is 9 by 5 times 3 power k plus 1 by 5 times negative 2 power k plus 5. That's the answer we are looking for, and it never hurts to find out if your answer is right. Let's try and find S of 2 using two different methods. S of 2 from the question, S of 2 from the question says S of 2 is 6 S of 1 plus, no, it is S of 1 plus 6 S of 0 minus 30. S of 1 plus 6 S of 0 minus 30. And we know that S of 1 is 10 and S of 0 is 7. 10 and 6 times 7, you have 30 removed from it. That's 42 plus 10, 52 minus 30, which is exactly 22. Now let's have a look at our answer. Our answer said we need to do 9 by 5 times 3 power k plus 1 by 5 times minus 2 power k plus 5. This was for k. S of 2 means you will have 9 by 5 times 3 square, which is 9, plus 1 by 5 times minus 2 square, which is 4, plus 5. Let's add them up. 81 by 5 plus 4 by 5 plus 5. 81 and 4 give you 85, on 5 gives you 17, 17 plus 5 is once again 22. So both answers match. The answer we got from the solution and the answer we got from the question do match, and therefore we see that our solution is in fact right. Okay, next up we'll look at the next type. What if your function on the right is not a constant function? So far both problems we have solved, it has been easy because they have been constant functions, and therefore you had solved it easily. What if you had a polynomial which is linear? You can also have a polynomial which is quadratic and stuff, but let's discuss this first. What if the function on the right is actually a linear function in n? That's the question you have before you. S of n minus 7 times S of n minus 1 plus 10 times S of n minus 2, giving us 6 plus 8n. So clearly this is linear. Most of you might have been familiar with that. It is non-homogeneous because the function on the right is not a zero function, it's a linear function without zero coefficients, and it is also of order 2. And since it is of order 2, you know where you should start with. We will write the characteristic equation r power 2 minus 7 r power 2 minus 1 plus 10 r power 2 minus 2, which is 0, giving us 0. So r square minus 7 r plus 10 is 0. The value of r is easy to obtain. R is either 2 or 5. Now since r is 2 or 5, you have the homogeneous part of the answer. S h of n is nothing but b1 to the power of 5, b1 times 5 to the power of n plus b2 times 2 to the power of n. We will have to find out these constants eventually. We know what S of 0 and S of 1 are, so we will solve them. but this is the homogeneous part of the answer. What's remaining is the particular part of the answer, and for that now we'll go back to the table. The table said whatever is the nature of the function f of n, we will repeat the same. So if you have a polynomial of degree m, it's again a polynomial of degree m in the answer. The polynomial over here is a constant, no, it's not even a constant. The polynomial over here is a linear polynomial, which means the answer is also going to take care of a linear polynomial. A linear polynomial is of the form a constant d naught plus a term of n in d1n. So this is the proposed educated guess that we make about the particular part of the answer, d naught plus d1n. Our solution may be of this form. It's an educated guess. Let's try and see if that works. And how do you do it? You will find the answers for each of them and substitute them back here. So if Sp of n is d naught plus d1n, what will happen to Sp of n minus 1? That will be d naught plus d1 of n minus 1, because you replace n by n minus 1. Similarly, Sp of n minus 2 is going to be d naught plus d1 of n minus 2, because you are replacing n by n minus 2. We will use them here to get the constants d naught and d1. So what do we have in the question is Sp of n minus 7 times Sp of n minus 1 plus 10 times Sp of n minus 2 equaling 6 plus 8n. Now we will write down the answers that we got in the previous screen on the board. Sp of n is d naught plus d1n. That's straightforward. There are no adjustments to be made. It's easy. Minus 7 times, this is d naught plus d1 times n minus 1 plus 10 times d naught plus d1 times n minus 2, all of them adding to give us a 6 and an 8n. So if you simplify this, you will have a d naught plus d1n minus 7 d naught minus 7 d1n plus 7 d1 again plus 10 d naught plus 10 d1n minus 20 d1, all of them giving us 6 plus 8n. Now if we group them, constants separately and n terms separately, these are n terms, that's 10 plus 1 11, 11 minus 7 is 4n. So n times you have a 10 d1, you have a 1 d1 and you have a 7 d1, and the constants, you have a d naught, you have a 7 d naught and you have a 10 d naught. You also have a 7 d1 and a 20 d1, all of them giving us 6 plus 8n. So simplifying, 10 plus 1 is 11, 11 minus 7 is 4 d1n plus, once again look at these two, 10 plus 1 is 11, 11 minus 7 is 4 d naught, 7 minus 20 is 13, 13 d1 giving us 6 plus 8n. Now we will have to compare like terms. We will compare the constants together and we will compare the linear terms together. Comparing the linear terms will give us 4 d1 equal to 8 or d1 is 2. The 4 d1 and the 8 can be compared, therefore they are coefficients of the same term n power 1, therefore you have d1 as 2. You also have 4 d naught minus 13 d1 as 6, equating the constant parts. 4 d naught is a constant, 13 d1 is a constant, 6 is a constant on the other side. You can equate both. You know that d1 is 2. So 4 d naught minus 26 is 6, or 4 d naught is 32, which means d naught is 8. And therefore you have your particular solution Sp of n d naught plus d1 as 8 plus 2n. On the previous screen we did find out the general solution of the homogeneous part On this screen we have found out the particular solution of the non-homogeneous part. Both combined together will give us the answer. So you will have the actual answer for the problem to be the sum of both SH of n plus SP of n. So you will have B1 times 5 power n plus B2 times 2 power n plus, what did we get? We got 8 plus 2n. All of them put together is your recurrence relation. Now the problem is solved if you can find these constants B1 and B2, and for that we have been given initial conditions. The question says S of 0 is 1 and S of 1 is 2. We will use them. S of 0 is 1. So we will use 0 for n everywhere. B1 times 5 power 0, that is B1. B2 times 2 power 0, that is B2, plus 8 plus 0, that is 8, giving us 1. Or you have B1 plus B2 is minus 7. Likewise S of 1 is 2, which means B1 times 5 plus B2 times 2 plus 8 plus 2, 2 times 1 is 2 again, or 5 B1 plus 2 B2 plus 10 giving us 2. So one equation is 5 B1 plus 2 B2 giving us minus 8, and the other is B1 plus B2 giving us minus 7. You can multiply that by 2. 2 B1 plus 2 B2 is minus 14. Now you can subtract and solve for B1. If you subtract, you will lose B2. 3 B1 will give us 6, B1 will give us 2, and if B1 is 2, B2 has to be negative 9, and therefore our S of n has got to be 2 times 5 power n minus 9 times 2 power n plus 8 plus 2n, and this is the solution we are looking for. 2 times 5 power n, do they match? I just check them. 5 times 2 is 10 plus 2 times negative 9 is minus 18, 10 minus 18 plus 10, that is 20 minus 18, which is 2. That is right, yeah, it matches. So this is the answer we are looking for. Now let us try and check the answer. Let us find S of 2 in two different ways. It is 2 times 5 power n minus 9 times, what were the answers? Yeah, 9 times 2 power n plus 8 plus 2n. Now out of these, S of 2 has got to be, this is S of n, 2 times 5 square, 2 times 5 square minus 9 times 2 square plus 8 plus 2, which is 2 times 25, 50, minus 9 times 4, which is 36, plus 8 plus 2 times 2, which is 8 plus 4, that's 50 plus 12 minus 36, 62 minus 36, which is 26. Now from the question we know that S of 2 is 7 times S of 1 plus 10 times S of 0 plus 8 plus 2n. The question says it is 6 plus 8n, 6 plus 8 times 2, which is 7 times S of 1, and you know that S of 1 is 2 and S of 0 is 1. 7 times 2 plus 10 times 1 plus 6 plus 16, which is 14 plus 10, you've gone, it's 22, yeah, 7 minus 10, this is a minus, plus 6 plus 16, which is 20 plus 16 is 36 minus 10, that is also 26. So we have verified the answer for S of 2 in two different methods, and both of them are a perfect match. Therefore we have solved this problem correctly. We'll just have a couple of more problems for the sake of practice, and then we'll wind up today's class. Again, non-homogeneous, linear, order 2 recurrence relation. The equation will give us the answers as r square minus 2r minus 15 is 0. You can solve it and get the answer for r is 5 or minus 3. R can be either 5 or minus 3, because you can factorize this as r square minus 5r plus 3r minus 15 is 0. R times r minus 5 is 3 times r minus 5 is 0. R plus 3 is 0 or r minus 5 is 0. Therefore, you will have 5 comma minus 3 as the roots. So, the solution to the homogeneous part of the answer is b1 times 5 power n plus b2 times minus 3 to the power of n. And the particular part of the solution can be of the form d naught plus d1n. And why is that? The answer on the right is a linear function. It's not a constant function, it's not the zero function, it's a linear function. So, it's going to be of the form d naught plus d1n. So, what will happen to Sp of n minus 1? That will be d naught plus d1 of n minus 1, d1 times. Sp of n minus 2 has got to be d naught plus d1 of n minus d1 times n minus 2. We will use them to find the values of d naught and d1. So, what we have on the equation is s of n minus 2 s of n minus 1 minus 15 s of n minus 2 to be minus 16 minus 32. So, you have d naught plus d1 n minus 2 times d naught plus d1 n minus 1 minus 15 times d naught plus d1 n minus 2, giving us this linear expression as the answer. Simplifying, d naught plus d1 n minus 2 d naught minus 2 d1 n plus 2 d1 minus 15 d naught minus 15 d1 n plus 30 d1, all of them giving us minus 16 minus 32 n. Simplifying, let us group the constants. D naught is a constant, d naught is a constant again, d naught is a constant, that is minus 17 plus 1 minus 16 d naught minus 16 d1 n plus 32 d1, giving us minus 16 and minus 32 n. So, let us equate the like terms. Minus 16 d1 n is minus 32 n, or d1 has got to be 2. If d1 is 2, let us equate the constants. Minus 16 d naught plus 32 times 2 gives us minus 16 d naught plus 32 into 2 is going to give us the constant on the right, that is minus 16. Minus 16 d naught plus 64 is giving us minus 16, or minus 16 d naught is 80, or it is minus 80, which means d naught is 5. So, the particular solution we are looking for, Sp of n is going to be 5 plus 2n. So, we found the general solution in the previous screen, we have found the particular solution in this screen. So, we have one complete solution for the RR. This is the general solution, and the other particular solution is highlighted in the next screen. So, we have the complete solution as b1 times 5 power n plus b2 times minus 3 power n plus 5 plus 2n. as our answer. Now one task is left, the task of determining these constants b1 and b2, and for that we have the initial conditions given to us. S of 0 is 8 and S of 1 is 6. S of 0 is 8, which means b1 plus b2 plus 5 is 8, and S of 1 is 6, rather 5 b1 minus 3 b2 plus 5 plus 2 gives us 6. So one equation is b1 plus b2 is 3, the first one. The second one, 5 b1 minus 3 b2 is 6 minus 7, which is minus 1. So solving for these two will give us the answers for b1 and b2. Let's multiply the first equation by 3. So b1 plus 3 b1 plus 3 b2 is 9, and adding them will eliminate b2. So 8 b1 is 8 again, or b1 is 1. If b1 is 1, b2 is 3 minus 1, and therefore b2 is 2. Therefore the complete solution for the RR is 1 times 5 power n plus 2 times minus 3 power n plus 5 plus 2n, plus 5 and plus 2n. Now we can, as usual, verify the given answer here by finding S of 2 by two different methods. S of 2 according to the answer can be obtained by using the value of n as 2. So that's 1 times 5 square, that's 25, plus 2 times negative 3 whole square, that's an 18, plus 5 plus 4, 2 times 2 is 4. So that's 25 plus 18, which is 43, and 9, which is 52. Let's try and find out S of 2 from the question. Now from the question, S of 2 is 2 S of 1 plus 15 S of 0, 2 S of 1 plus 15 S of 0 minus 16 minus 32n. S of 1 we know to be 6, so it's 2 times 6. S of 0 we know to be 8, which is 15 times 8 minus 16 minus 32 and 2 will give us 64. Adding them up, 12 plus 120 minus 80 is what we are looking for, and that's 132 minus 80, which is once again 52. So even in this case we get the same answer for S of 2 by both methods, which confirms with a lot of conviction that we have in fact solved the recurrence relation correctly. We'll solve one more question. This is again a homogeneous, non-homogeneous linear recurrence relation of order 2. So let's directly write down the characteristic equation. R square minus 3r minus 10 is 0. You can factorize this and get the roots as 5 and minus 2. 25 minus 15 minus 10 is 0. 4 plus 6 minus 10 is 0 again. So the roots are 5 and minus 2. So the general solution of the homogeneous part of the answer is b1 times 5 power n plus b2 times minus 2 power n. Now we can also proceed and write down the answer for the particular part, Sp of n. Since the RHS is a linear function in n, we will assume that it is of the form d0 plus d1n, which means Sp of n minus 1 must be d0 plus d1 times n minus 1, or Sp of n minus 2 similarly can be obtained as d0 plus d1 times n minus 2. So the constants d0 and d1 can be obtained by using these three answers in the question. The question says S of n minus 3 S of n minus 1 minus 10 S of n minus 2 is 12n plus 1. Let's substitute the answers we wrote. So d naught plus d1n minus 3 times d naught plus d1 times n minus 1 minus 10 times d naught plus d1 times of n minus 2, giving us 12n plus 1. Solving, we'll group the constants first. D naught plus d1n minus 3 d naught minus 3 d1n plus 3 d1 minus 10 d naught minus 10 d1n plus 20 d1, giving us 12n and 1. Now the d naughts can be grouped. D naught minus 3 d naught minus 10 d naught, so that's a 13 minus 1, that's a 12 minus 12 d naught, d1n minus 3 minus 2 d1n minus 12 d1n again, and let's group the d1s again, 3 and 20, 3 and 20 giving us a 23 d1. All of this is 12n plus 1. Now if we group the terms which are of n to the power of 1, minus 12 d1n is 12n, or minus 12 d1 is 12, or d1 is minus 1. Once we found out d1, finding d naught is easier. Let's group the constants. Minus 12 d naught plus 23 d1 is 1, minus 12 d naught plus 23 times minus 1, minus 23 is 1 again, minus 12 d naught is plus 24, or d naught is just minus 2. So the particular solution you're looking for, Sp of n is minus 2 minus n. So adding these two, we can get the required answer. S of n is going to be the homogeneous part plus the particular part. The homogeneous part we solved 2 screens back, that was b1 times 5 power n plus b2 times minus 2 power n, and now we have also the particular part which is minus 2 minus n. Minus 2 minus n. That's the answer we're looking for. The problem is completely solved as soon as we find out the values for b1 and b2, and for that we'll consider what S of 0 is. From the question, S of 0 is 2. So S of 0 is 2 will imply b1 times 5 power 0, which is 1, b2 times minus 2 power 0, which is also 1, minus 2 minus 0 is 2 actually. So b1 plus b2 is nothing but exactly 4. S of 1 is also given in the question. We know that it is 3. We know that it is 3. So we have b1 times 5 minus 2 b2 minus 2 minus 1 giving us 3, or 5 b1 minus 2 b2 is actually 6. We can solve for b1 and b2. We'll multiply the first equation by 2. 2b1 plus 2b2 is 8. 5b1 minus 2b2 is 6. Adding the 2 will get 7b1 as 14, or b1 is just 2. Now b1 is 2, b2 is 4 minus 2, b2 is also 2. Therefore we have the answer. S of n is 2 times 5 power n plus 2 times minus 2 power n minus 2 minus n. And now let's check our answers. Let's find out what S of 2 is. 2 times 5 square, which is 2 times 25, which is 50, plus 2 times minus 2 square, which is 2 times 4, which is 8, minus 2 minus 2, that's 58 minus 4, which is 54. S of 2 must be 54. 58 minus 2 minus 2, 58 minus 4, which is 54. Let's check what S of 2 from the question is. The question says S of 2 is easily obtained as 3 times S of 1 plus 10 times S of 0. 3 times S of 1 plus 10 times S of 0, and you also have the functions on the right, which is 12n plus 1. 12 into 2 plus 1, and S of 1 we know to be 3 and S of 0 is 2. So 3 times 3 and 10 times 2 plus 12 and 2 give you 24 and a 1, that's 25. That's 9 plus 20 plus 25, which is 29 plus 25, which is also 54. So we have found out what the second term of the sequence using two different methods, and both are the same. We got 24, we also have 24 here, and therefore we have actually solved the answer. The answer is up here. This answer is in fact perfectly right. That's the answer we are looking for. For the last problem of today's class, let's try and solve one more recurrence relation of order 2. This is clearly linear. This is clearly of order 2, and it is also non-homogeneous. So the first steps first, let's write down S of n minus 4 S of n minus 1 minus 45 S of n minus 2 equaling 96n minus 140. So solving for this, we'll have r square minus 4r minus 45 is 0. So r is easily 9 or minus 5. I'll leave that part to you. It is easy to verify that. Therefore the homogeneous part of the answer will be b1 times 9 power n plus b2 times minus 5 power n. And since we have a linear function on the right, Sp of n must be d0 plus d1n. Therefore Sp of n minus 1 must be d0 plus d1 times n minus 1, and Sp of n minus 2 is d0 plus d1 times n minus 2. Let's use this as the answer. We know that S of n minus 4 S of n minus 1 minus 45 S of n minus 2 is 96n plus 140. 96n minus 140. So let's write that down. d0 plus d1n minus 4 times d0 plus d1 of n minus 1 plus 45 times d0 plus d1 of n minus 2, giving us 96n minus 140. So that's d0 plus d1n minus 4 d0 minus 4 d1n plus 4 d1 plus 45 d0 plus 45 d1n minus 90 d1, giving us the same answer. Let's group them now. d0, 4 d0, 45 d0, that's 45 plus 1, that's a minus sign here. That's 45 and 4 is 49, minus 1 is minus 48 d0. Plus d1 minus 48 d1n the last part this is a plus, so that will give us 94 d1. Giving us 96n minus 140. So comparing the coefficients, we have minus 48 d1 minus 48 d1 giving us 96, or d1 is just minus 2. If we use the value of d1 as minus 2, minus 48 times d0 plus 94 times minus 2 is going to give us minus 140. or minus 48 d naught minus 188 gives us minus 140, minus 48 d naught gives us 188 minus 140 is 48 again, or d naught is simply 1. In fact, d naught is minus 1. D naught is minus 1. So the polynomial we are looking for is d naught minus d naught plus d1n. D naught is minus 1, d1 is minus 2, so you have d1 as minus 2, which means the polynomial here is minus 1 minus 2n. So the complete solution of the recurrence relation is S of n is b1 times 9 power n plus b2 times minus 5 power n minus 1 minus 2n. Minus 1 minus 2n. Now to find the value of b1 and b2, we will use the values given in the problem. S of 0 is 3 and S of 1 is 5. S of 0 is 3 is what we are told. S of 0 is 3, as in b1 plus b2 minus 1 gives us 3, or b1 plus b2 gives us 4. S of 1 is 5, which was given in the problem. Which means b1 times 9 to the power of 1 b1 times 9 to the power of 1 plus b2 times minus 5 to the power of 1 minus 1 minus 2 is actually 5. Therefore 9 b1 minus 5 b2 minus 3 is actually 5. So we have 9 b1 minus 5 b2 giving us 8. 9 b1 minus 5 b2 giving us 8. So multiplying the first equation by 5, we will have 5 b1 plus 5 b2 giving us 20. 5 b1 plus 5 b2 giving us 20. Adding the 2, we will see that 14 b1 is 28, or b1 is 2. Now if b1 is 2, b2 has got to be 4 minus 2, b2 is also 2. Hence the recurrence relation in its complete form without any arbitrary constants can be written in this form. S of n is going to be 2 times 9 power n plus 2 times minus 5 power n minus 1 minus 2n. Now let us try and find S of 2 in two different ways. S of 2 from the answer is 2 times 9 square, 2 times 81 plus 2 times 5 square, that is 2 times 25 minus 1 minus 4, which is minus 5. Therefore it is 162 plus 50 minus 5. 162 and 50 give us 212. 212 minus 5 is 207. This is the answer that we get from the solution we obtained. Now the question tells us that S of 2 is equal to 4 S of 1 plus 45 S of 0, 4 S of 1 plus 45 S of 0 plus equaling 96 plus 96 times 2 minus 140. 4 S of 1, S of 1 is 5, that's 4 times 5 which is 20 plus 45 S of 0, 45 times 3 is 135 plus 96 times 2 is 192 minus 140. 135 plus 20 is 155 plus 192 minus 140 is once again 207. That's 347 minus 140 which is 207. So we've got both answers to be the same, and this is how you solve a non-homogeneous linear recurrence relation. This method is to be followed without any deviations to completely solve any non-homogeneous linear recurrence relation. In tomorrow's class we will have a look at a different method to solve all of these recurrence relations, which will be based on the concept of generating functions. See you then. Thanks.